Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, Husk, what's up? Living your truth. I know what I want and I know what I need. Living my truth is really hard, but it's setting me free. Ain't got no time for the faking, cause the love is the point. If they knock me down, then I get up. Dust myself off, love myself in the best way. They want you to fall and have nothing to say. Don't make a move, don't make a move, don't make a sound, don't make a sound. I've come too far, to give up now. I know that's right. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to another lovely Saturday. Today we're talking about changing yourself. But before we get into all of that, I want to say what's up to everybody up top. What's up, y'all? What's happened to everybody in the middle? What it do? And what's going on down here around me? What's up, everybody? I hope y'all been being really, really nice to yourself, been being good to yourself. Today, as I mentioned earlier, we're talking about changing yourself and what really goes into it. Now, I can speak to my own experiences. I won't speak to everyone else's. And so therefore, a lot goes into it. A lot of intention. A lot of work, a lot of reading, a lot of quiet moments, a lot of meditating, a lot of intentional acts that are in line with the results you may be seeking. And in this case, I'm referring to myself. I was looking to change a lot of things. I didn't know where to start. That was probably the most frustrating part about changing. It was like, where do I start? There's like this buffet of issues, right? And instead of calling them issues for the sake of today's show, I want to stay in a motivating spirit. We're going to call them opportunities. So I always had a buffet of opportunities right in front of me. I never really wanted to pay attention to them because I was so quick to blame others. I was so quick to project. A lot of us have an issue with really holding ourselves accountable. Why that is, perhaps for me, it was the feeling of shame, perhaps some inadequacies, maybe some shortcomings, maybe some things I just didn't really want to deal with. But I knew I had to. I knew that it was going to be extremely important for me to be a better version of myself. Now, while I was going through all of these changes and these emotions, roller coaster of emotions, I was like, okay, I should probably write some of these things down. So I started doing that. And then I get away from it. And then I go back to it. And then I think, oh, you know what? I'm fine. And that was never the case. It was never that I was fine. I was pacifying myself. That's what I was doing. I thought I could just work on something for a couple of days and then I'm all good. The reality is, it's a consistent body of work. I am to work at myself every single day. No matter how small, medium, or large the task, I am to work on myself every day. So I started off by acknowledging my mistakes. Acknowledging your mistakes and look into the future. This allowed me to look at my future by acknowledging my mistakes. It's difficult, it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Then I had to get out of my comfort zone. A lot of people struggle with this, so I'm here to let y'all know. Encourage yourself to move beyond your comfort zone. Okay? Associate with others, with other people who focus on success. See, because a lot of us tend to focus on what we don't have. Instead, I began to focus on what I do have. And that helped me really understand more of my value. I was really feeling better about myself. And then, of course, I started to set short-term, even midterm and long-term goals. This is what kept me in my process. This is what helped me to manage my progress, right? And then, of course, I stopped comparing myself to other people. A lot of us do this and we think it's like some way of motivating us. In fact, it's quite the contrary. Do not compare yourself to other people. You are a one of one. Treat yourself like it. It's a blessing to be me, just like it's a blessing to be you. There's so much opportunity if we give ourselves patience, flexibility, grace, encouragement. All of these things go into us being a better version of ourselves. And this is the fuel that helped me to begin to change myself. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We'll be right back.
Sit tight. We're paying some bills and we'll be right back.
Get your next nutrition coach at thebodysynthesis.com today. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we're talking about changing yourself. Are you ready? I mean, are you really up to the task? Because I tell you, when I began my change, my evolution, I was ready. But I believe I underestimated the amount of work that was going to go into it. Now, how can I change myself? What did I do to change myself? I had to stop making excuses. That's number one. Accountability is at the very tip top of that list. And so if I was always making excuses, I wasn't focusing on myself. Now, was I? Nope. And another thing, we cannot control the outcome. I could not control the outcome in even my own life. So I had to focus on my actions and my part of the process. The minute I began to really understand that and do that, things became a little lighter. I became lighter with myself. And when I say lighter, I mean, I didn't feel the weight of the world on my shoulders. I didn't feel the need to do everything at the same time. So stop making excuses, right? Number two, set goals. Some of the greatest leaders are great goal setters. I say this often to a lot of my clients and my members because this is where it begins. Be patient. Step it out. Start with small goals, small steps, big results. You don't have to take it all in at once. And a lot of us think that we do. And that is where that overwhelming feeling came in from myself. Create a routine. Number three. Yeah, create a routine, a morning routine, an evening routine. A routine is a great way to stay on message with yourself. It's a great way just to, in my opinion, just to keep myself accountable throughout my day. And I'm able to, monitor my progress. I'm able to see, okay, how did you do today with your routine, Tavares? Did you stick to it? Were you flexible with yourself? Or did you abandon it? Because all of this will speak to how I approach any and everything in my life. How you do anything is how you do everything. Or how you do everything is how you do anything. However you want to make that work for you. But you completely understand what I'm saying because it's all connected. Number four, hold yourself accountable. I just talked about this. A lot of us have an issue with this. Why do we take such issue with this? Is it because of how it makes us feel? Let me tell you something. Being transparent, being vulnerable equals empowerment, equals growth. How else will you grow? Life ain't perfect. Nothing is perfect. We are not perfection. We are progress, ladies and gentlemen, and children with their parents' permission. Track your progress. I've already touched on this. This is a great way to stay mindful within yourself, okay? A great way to stay mindful. We must have intentional behaviors that speak to the things we want in life. Right? Right. Number six, failure is integral to success. So, in other words, when we fail, we open ourselves up to be better, to succeed. We must look at failure as opportunities, not as like you're a loser. No, not at all. In fact, when we fail, we learn. And it's a matter of perception. It's a matter of attitude. You know, I used to always look at failure and I would get so butthurt, right? I'd be just like so bummed out. And then I wouldn't quit though. Like I would actually go back to the drawing board and try again. And it was in those moments where I started to really understand, hey man, if you don't get it the first time around, it's cool. Just try it again. You'll get it. And that's how I have been able to evolve. That's how I've been able to really just become better versions of myself. Being flexible, being kind, positive self-talk, positive self-thoughts, really understanding that I have what it takes. And then the last one, exercise, activity, physical activity, mental activity. I mean, all kinds of exercise. I mean, you can meditate, you can do Pilates, you can do yoga, you can go running, you can do resistance workouts. There's so many ways to put the body into a state of execution and getting the job done. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We'll be right back. Remember, practice positive self-talk. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. What you say?
I heard it through the grapevine.
Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we're talking about changing yourself and how that looks and some of my struggles with it and, you know, what I've learned from the experience, right? Because I've been able to empower myself through my experience. I used to think, was it even possible at one point in time to even change myself? Because, you know, people tell you, you can't change, you can't change. And I was like, man, I could change if I want to. But the problem was I kept doing the same thing. So therefore, when my family or my friends would see me, well, they could also reference things that I was still doing, which would validate their opinion in me not changing. And so I had to get really intentional. I had to really get down in the trenches with myself. Look, while your traits aren't set in stone, some characteristics are more easily adaptable than others. Okay. And with encouragement and effort, most people find it possible to change aspects of their lives, such as habits, behaviors, attitude, and outlook. When I look at my attitude and I looked at my outlook at the time, they were in two different places. Like I knew what I wanted to see, but then I knew what I was also experiencing. It was like, I'm good Monday through Friday, but then come the weekends, I was not good, right? I wasn't doing the things that I was doing Monday through Friday on the weekends. And so therefore I found myself having to start over. We all know someone like that, or we've all experienced that. I can let y'all know it is very challenging at times to change yourself. It's not that easy. Okay. It is not that easy. So when you look at what we're going through, or when I look at myself and what I was going through, it was difficult because I also had influences from friends and from family. And then of course, environments that I would frequent or places that I would go. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's very hard to change anything about yourself when you're constantly hanging around people who reflect the behaviors you once stood for. So at times you may find that you have to remove yourself from that particular group. Doesn't mean you got to cut them off forever. However, if you are going to be intentional about your personal growth and you do understand your surroundings and the dynamic of your surroundings, then you'll also understand, hey, I may need to pull myself out of this group for a while so I can go do my self-work. And be excited about that, right? Don't be judgmental. Don't look at yourself and think that you need to inflict these wounds on yourself to get better. No, you can love yourself, right? 10 things that I used to do back in the day and that I still do today. Value myself. Value yourself, right? Treat yourself with kindness and respect and avoid self-criticism, as I just mentioned. We are our worst critics, the self, right? And we have the potential to be our biggest supporters. So why not do that? And I can tell you something about this because a lot of it comes from generational tasks, generational influence. A lot of this comes from what we've learned even while growing up. Everyone has had either an aunt or an uncle or a cousin. You've seen them or you heard them talk bad about themselves. I'm fat, I'm too skinny, I'm ugly. And then what people don't quite understand is that's influential behavior. So it can be passed down without you even realizing it. So this is why we talk nice to ourselves. This is why we're kind to ourselves. Also, take care of your body. You only get one to live in. You only get one for the rest of your life. Think about that for a minute. If you want to live a long life, you must take care of your body, okay? And surround yourself with good people. I mentioned this earlier. This stuff matters. Good vibes attracts good vibes. Just like negativity attracts negativity. Give to yourself. And when I say give to yourself, I mean give yourself space and time to process. Maybe go to the park, maybe sit at the park, get closer to nature, because to get closer to nature is to get closer to your spirit. All right? That's where we come from. Also, learn how to deal with stress. What do you do for stress? Do you walk? Do you run? Do you work out? What do you do? Do you meditate? I do, and it helps. Meditation helps to quiet the mind. All right. Also, set realistic goals. What's your goal setting like? Are you going to obtain these goals? In fact, do yourself a solid and set a goal that you can obtain. This does build momentum and it builds motivation. All right. And it lets you know that you can actually execute whatever you want to go after. The mind is a very powerful tool. We got to use it to get what we want the right way. Also, break up the monotony in your life. Don't do the same thing over and over because you're better than that. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We'll be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? Please say a prayer for those over in Turkey and continue praying for those in Ukraine. The world, as we all know, is going through a very dark time right now. So please, let's shine a light and show love. Thank you. And until the next time, be the best versions of yourself. Peace. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we're talking about changing yourself. And in this case, I'm talking about how I had to go about changing myself. It took a long time and I'm still doing it. That's the thing. There are no days off. I don't ever want to get to a point where I think I got it all together. I mean, it's nice to think that, but the moment I really buy into that, well, a few things can happen. That's when I feel maybe the ground start to kind of shake or become a little loose beneath me. Or perhaps I feel like I'm not on top of my game. Now, this is just for me that I'm referring to this as. It could be different for you. But I know for me, I prefer to stay ready as opposed to getting ready. And a part of that has to do with how I approach each and every single day. I give myself routine. I give myself flexibility. I give myself a whole lot of love. Some people may be unable to change or may believe that they are unable to change. I believe anybody can change if they really want to. Our brains store life patterns, and we have a natural tendency to settle into them. We all do. We are who we are, and on some level, we get comfortable with that. We all do. Even if it makes us miserable, we still get comfortable with that. The idea of changing can feel very discomforting and scary. It feels easier and safer to choose the devil you know. Yeah, we all know about that, okay? Shout out PsychCentral.com. Thank y'all over there for your support. When it comes to choosing the devil that you know, also know that you can evolve that devil that you know. I work with people all the time. I work with people who say, I don't quite get what you do. I've worked with people that are like, you are a master at what you do. I've worked with folks that say, you know what? You may have your work cut out working with me because I got all kinds of issues. See, look, I love you too. In fact, I love everybody. If you think that way about yourself, then that's what you're going to be. A lot of folks focus on what they don't have. That's why they continue to have more of what they don't have. So focus on what you do have. If you got a car that's working, focus on that. If you got a family that loves you, focus on that. If you got a job that respects you and pays you well, focus on that. It don't have to be forever, ever. Forever, ever? Nah. But for right now in this moment, focus on that because you will invite more of that into your life. Be aware of your frequency because what you're putting off is what you're going to be getting back. And it's just that simple. We have to be what we want to attract. So if we're always being like negative and always complaining about what we don't have, it's no surprise that you will continue to, have more of what you don't have. I've been there too. It takes a lot of focus and trust. It gets easier when we focus on what we do have, the blessings, the love, the admiration, a good job. Maybe you're able to have, work-life flexibility, where a lot of folks, I know they struggle with trying to get that. Be thankful, be graceful. How to change your life? Well, it comes with a few things. Define your intentions, things you want to change in your life. What are your intentions? You guys hear me talking about be intentional about your personal growth all the time. I know some people don't even get that, but other people are like, okay, I feel that. Also, set clear and measurable goals, as I mentioned before. They got to be clear. We got to set them first, but they got to be clear. Also, decide on your reward for completing your challenge. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to journal for 5 days this week. If I journal for 5 days straight, I'll give myself a break on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, it seems small, but think about what you just accomplished. Also, plan for possible distractions. This is where being flexible with the self comes in. It's okay to be flexible, y'all. You don't have to get it all done in one day, okay? Also, define how you will track your progress. Practice self-care. All of these things really lend itself to being better and better and better with each day. Remember the compound effect, y'all. We could take small steps each and every single day that will get us closer to our goals. And by the end of that week, think about how much better we are for it. Think about how much better we will feel and how accomplished we will feel. Think about that. You could take small steps and you can get there. Just believe that you can. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We'll be right back. Don't forget to pick up my new book, Kissed by the Wind, A Book of Poems and Passions, Volume 3, out now on Amazon Books. Go ahead and search Tavares Allen Garrett and get yourself a copy. Thank you for your support. Welcome back to the show. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we're talking about changing yourself. And I've been sharing with y'all how I went about changing myself. It hasn't always been easy. In fact, every day I have new opportunity. Every day I learn about myself, though. That's the cool thing about changing yourself. It's like you never get done changing yourself, but what you do develop are really great habits to evolve yourself. Like, that's the really cool thing that I've experienced. If people ask me, what's it been like? This is what it's been like. I continue to learn about myself. I continue to present opportunities to myself to grow. And now I embrace those opportunities to grow, right? Sometimes I even find new ways to grow. It could be as easy as trying a new food I've never tried before, perhaps eating a new veggie I've never eaten before, or fruit, or just a different dish, right? Growing, teaching myself. Look, we don't stop learning after high school and college. You ask me, that's just when it all begins. It's up to us. See, we get the fundamentals going through education class and, junior high, high school, middle school, and all that stuff. We get just the fundamentals, but when it comes to us going out in the world and flying ourselves, this is where I feel continued education really comes into play. So some of the ways I started to change my life, I started to write down what I've learned from my past. This is a really good opportunity right here. Think about your past and then write down what you learned from it. You don't have to go into super detail, but you can look at perhaps maybe relationships that you were a part of and what you learned from those relationships. It is so important that we learn from our relationships, whether those are domestic partnerships or their boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever the case is, if they're friends, whatever the case is, if the relationship is no longer, look back at the relationship and ask yourself, what have I learned from it? Also, I mentioned this earlier, surrounding yourself with positive people, okay? People that you want to perhaps emulate or the vibration you prefer to be around. Also, I mentioned this before, get out of your comfort zone. Getting out of our comfort zone is a great way to learn. It's a great way to open up our minds and our spirits to new opportunities so that we can start living a life filled with integrity. Some of us don't live a life filled with integrity. I didn't always have a life full of integrity. I take chances, dumb chances, stupid chances maybe, just to feel the thrill, as they say, only to pay the price. You dig what I'm saying? Also, replace bad habits with positive ones. This is not hard. Take small steps. Be patient with yourself. You can do this, okay? It really does work. 3 reasons that people change. I'll tell you right now. People change when they hurt enough. People change when they have to, okay? When they see enough, they're inspired to. When they learn enough that they want to do, and when they receive enough and they're able to. These are why people change. In my case, I wanted to be a better human being. I knew there was a better version of me available to me within this universe. I knew it. And I also identified with how I felt. I would do body scans. I would literally close my eyes and scan my body with my mind, starting with my head to my shoulders, my arms, my core, rib cage, abdominal section, everywhere, down to my quads, my thighs, my legs, my knees, my shins, my toes. I touch every part of my body just to feel myself, just to tap in with myself, right? It's so important to be mindful and to listen to our bodies. And so doing all of those things allowed me to at least invite in the ideas of being a better person, a more happy person. These ideas aren't far-fetched. I will share them with you on the next segment. But think about how you can open yourself up to the ideas of being a better version of you, of being more happy. Maybe you complain a lot about a lot of things. Maybe you're the friend who's known to be the complainer. Or maybe you're the quiet friend. Maybe you don't speak a whole lot. Maybe you don't really give your opinion. Maybe you're not that, confident to speak your mind. I'm about to help you. I'm about to show you how. It's all about taking small steps. It's all about loving yourself. It's all about being patient. It's all about giving yourself grace. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We'll be right back.
Boom the funk, boom the funk, boom the funk, the funky land fools us. Boom the funk, the funky land fools us.
Pussycat Perla here. Fluffy in the front, tight in the back. And if we going up, we going all the way up, you dig? Y'all check it here. Be sure to tune in every Saturday to new episodes of Living Your Truth with Tavares. You know what it is, baby. Pussycat Perla. Meow.
Welcome back to Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we're talking about changing yourself. I'm sharing, because sharing is caring. When it came to me wanting to be a better person and wanting to be more happy, now, I knew I was capable, right? And you often hear happiness is a state of mind. It's true. I had to start doing things like cultivate gratitude. How do you cultivate gratitude? You feel it in your heart first. You think it to yourself first. You think about someone or something that you are very grateful for, and you show gratitude, even if it's to yourself about that person. If you're not ready to go to that person and say, hey, you know what? I am grateful for you. Then you say it to yourself, and that is how you can begin to cultivate gratitude. I also began to greet everyone that I would meet. Hello, how you doing? I'm Tavares. Pleased to meet you. And I would do it with a smile, because a smile is also communication. And so is not smiling. A lot of people don't understand how they communicate all day, every day. Body language, facial expressions. We're all communicating and transmitting energy every single moment of every single day. Even the way that we talk, it's in our tone. There's messages within messages while we are communicating, whether we are speaking or nonverbal. Okay, you dig? Also, try a digital detox. This means turning off your devices, phone, computer, laptop, iPads. You get what I'm saying? Getting closer to yourself, like to your spirit. Use positive self-talk. I mentioned this earlier. Y'all already know Tavares' famous mirror talk is one of the hottest tools sweeping the entire globe. Everybody is using Tavares' famous mirror talk. It's very simple. You go into the mirror, you look at yourself. Sometimes it's 5 seconds, sometimes it's 10 seconds, sometimes it's 15. Look here. You go into the mirror and you love on yourself. You validate yourself first in the mirror when you wake up in the morning. You do not allow the world to validate you. Okay? Love yourself first. Set the tone. When we set the tone with Tavares' famous mirror talk and we tell ourselves, I'm beautiful. And then we go out to the world and people are like, oh my God, you are so beautiful today. You have invited that frequency in. Hello. Also, practice random acts of kindness. This is so big. I love doing this. It's so much fun. It is so much fun to practice random acts of kindness because what I love more than anything, next to how it makes me feel, is people's expression. The surprise, the element of surprise, man. It is so awesome. Also, eat at least one meal mindfully, meaning count how many times you chew. I tried it. It works. It really slowed down my eating too, which really made it nice for digestion time. I'm just saying it works. Get enough sleep. I consider sleep gold. I really do. Sleep is so monumental. It's so paramount. It's so epic. So please do what you can to get to the bed and go to sleep at the same time, at least Monday through Friday, every day, same time, at least within 15 minutes, okay? Very important. Also, breathe consciously. I know for me, when I get upset, stressed out, I stop breathing. I don't know when I started it, but I've noticed it since I've been meditating. And so when I look at situations that may appear to be stressful, I will go into a 4-4-4 breathing method, which is inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and then inhale or exhale for 4 seconds. Sometimes I change the numbers around. It could be a 3-3-3. It could be a 3-4-3. It could be a 2-3-2. It could be whatever you choose, but it's really about calming and being mindful of the body and the self and the spirit. And that's what I love about breathing methods and breathing practices and breathing tools, because everything is connected to our breath. Every single emotion that we feel, whether you're excited or you're sad. So many times, a lot of us will forget to breathe, especially in the face of like shock. People will just be in shock and they won't even realize that they've stopped breathing. Yeah, you're still alive, but you've completely stopped breathing. Okay? So be mindful. Be mindful of the energy that's around you. Manage your energy, okay? You matter. You are worth the effort. This is Living Your Truth with Tavares. We'll be right back. Hey, Tavares here from Living Your Truth with Tavares. Always take time for your mental health. You matter. You are very important, and many people love having you around. So take the time for your mental health. I know life can get crazy. I know we all get busy. I know we got to be here, there, here. Oh yeah, and can't forget that meeting. I get it. But take the time to give yourself enough time so that you can cruise along into your day and about your day. There's no need to be playing catch up throughout the day. We all hate that feeling. I know I do. I can't stand rushing. It gets on my last nerve. So I do myself the honor and the privilege of giving myself a bit more time
just so that I don't have to rush. There's no need to build up all that angst, all that cortisol inside your body, all that adrenaline. It's not good for you. So give yourself the time and have a great day. We'll see you next week.
Welcome back to Living Your Truth with Tavares. I am him. Today we're talking about changing yourself. I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in around the world. I appreciate you. Look, it's not easy, but it isn't that hard either. You are worth it. Ask yourself the number one thing, the first thing that I asked myself when it came to changing. I said, where am I? Not where am I geographically? I know that. But where am I within myself? Where is my spirit within my body? This is a first phase of personal discovery to make really aware of how one is living. And for me, it helped me to understand how I was living my life. At this stage, it's a good time to take time for personal reflection, but also asking the opinions of others. It's okay to want to change, and it's okay to get outside opinions. You don't have to hold on to these people's opinions, but these are people that are very close to you, people that you probably see every day, maybe speak to every day, and just ask them, hey, is there something I could change about myself? Do you think there is? See, when you pose it like that and they give you their opinion, you won't take it so personal because you've asked for the information. Some of us will struggle with asking ourselves, where am I? And so it's okay to get outside assistance. You see how that sounds different than just asking someone for their opinion? And be transparent with your friends or your family members. Maybe it's your partner. Just say, hey, I'm looking to make some changes. You have any suggestions on where I could start? Or what's your take on me? Now, it's not putting them in a position to make them better than you. That's not what it is. You're actually showing courage. Like you're showing how much power and control you have over you. It takes a lot of courage to ask somebody else what they think about you. And in this case, it took a lot of courage for me to ask best friends of mine, family members of mine, what they thought about me. But I'm so glad that I did, because I also showed them how to reclaim their power. Reclaim your power. Reclaim you. You are worth it. I want to thank each and every single person who continues to tune in from all around the world to Living Your Truth with Tavares. I couldn't do this without y'all. I love y'all. I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. We've been on a journey for a very, 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 very long time together. And I really hope that people have been able to pick up what I've been putting down over the last 7 seasons. This has truly been a hell of a run. And so I just thank you guys so very, very much. I love you all. If you want to email me and just say hello, email me at livingyourtruthpodcast@gmail.com. If you are on the X platform, we are at LIVINUR Truth. And if you're on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, we are at Living Your Truth Podcast. All traditional spelling, Living Your Truth Podcast. You guys are also very special. You're always worth the time. You're always worth the effort. And you are always worth the energy. So give it to yourself. Until the next time, be the better versions of yourself and live your truth. Peace.
Next time on Living Your Truth with Tavares.
Rebuilding. How long will it take you? On the next Living Your Truth with Tavares.
Be sure to email us at livingyourtruthpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're on Twitter, we are at LIVINUR Truth. And if you're on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, we are at Living Your Truth Podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, Husk, what's up? Living your truth. I know what I want and I know what I need. Living my truth is really hard, but it's setting me free. Ain't got no time for the faking, cause the love is the point. If they knock me down, then I get up. Dust myself off, love myself in the best way. They want you to fall and have nothing to say. Don't make a move, don't make a move, don't make a sound, don't make a sound. I've come too far, to give up now. I know that's right. This is Living Your Truth.